Hi, everyone. I hope you're well. This recording is actually a special request from one of my listeners. During the first segment of episode 12, I personally talked about apologies and compliments and what they mean to me. But most of you that listen to my show, you know that I'm actually very expressive in how I say things. So he's asked me to record something that's more friendly to someone that is much younger in age. And actually, I think this can actually apply to anyone, what I'm going to talk about. But the first thing I want to talk about is apologies. And what I said about apologies is as follows. I am not a big fan of apologies because for most people, they really don't mean anything. They are readily and easily given, but I don't think the significance of an apology is truly, really understood. Because to me, when one gives an apology, or if I give an apology, that is something that's heartfelt. It's felt from your core. It's felt from your soul. That means you truly feel bad about something that you did to hurt, to disregard, to disrespect someone that you actually care about, whether you love them or you like them, or you just appreciate the fact that they are another human being. So when you apologize, that apology is supposed to tell that person that you have harmed that I truly, deeply understand what it is that I've made you feel. And I, because I care for you, will ensure that I never make you feel like that again. And that is why I am sorry, and that is why I'm telling you sorry. But nowadays, most people give an apology out like it's candy, like it's sending a tweet on social media. And that's not what an apology is. If you're not sincere about it, or if you truly don't understand the depths of the pain or hurt that you've caused another person, then you should keep that apology to yourself. Because when I apologize, I am telling you, I will not hurt you like that again. I will not disrespect you like that again. I truly appreciate and I value you, and I want you to stay in my life. And because I hold you in such high regard, I will not cause harm to you in this manner. And that is why I'm sorry. So if you have people in your life who give you an apology easily, readily, and turn around and do the same actions over and over again to you, you have to take a moment to step back and really evaluate the situation. Because if you have a person who gives an apology easily, readily, or they struggle with it, but they continuously do the same thing that make you feel bad or feel like a horrible person, not valued or appreciated, then you have to understand that person is apologizing for themselves. What does that mean? That means they are giving you an apology because they want you to help them feel better about the bad decisions that they've made, about the bad actions they have displayed. Because as soon as you say, I accept your apology, magically, miraculously, that person feels better. They may show some gestures of good faith, of goodwill, of changing. But lo and behold, within a short time frame, they're back to their same tricks. So if you have someone in your life that is constantly doing the same thing over and over and over again that's hurting you, I don't care if it's a friend, an associate, a boss, a husband, wife, girlfriend, a stranger on the street, whomever, whatever. If you have a person that is doing the same thing over and over again, and they are apologizing to you willingly, not willingly, easily, not easily, it doesn't matter. If they're apologizing to you and they're doing the same thing over and over again, that means 1, they don't understand how they have made you feel. 2, they only care about how they feel, which is why you are in that situation, because they were only thinking about themselves. And 3, as soon as you say, I accept your apology, they will feel better. They will forget magically about what they did wrong to you, and they will go back to their old ways. So do not hand out apologies like they're fortune cookies or Skittles, because that's not what it is. An apology, yes, it is words, but those words have something behind them, which is spirit, which is soul, which is another person's intent. And if your intent is not pure, people will figure it out and they will know. So stop accepting apologies from people who continuously hurt you. 2, you may have to change who you interact with if they cannot treat you and hold you in the highest regard, because all of us are on this earth for a reason and we're special. You may not believe it, you may not understand it, but you weren't born as an ant. You came here as a human being. That means you are something, you are someone. And if you allow someone to treat you badly, yes, that's what I said. No one can treat you badly unless you allow them to. What that means is that you can't control other people, but you can control yourself and where you are, who you interact with, and what you accept in your life. So if you're continuously allowing the same people or persons to disrespect you on whatever level, you have to really take a hard look at yourself to figure out, what can I do different? Because if I loved and cherished myself like the God or the goddess that I am, I would not accept such behavior. I would not continuously accept apologies from someone who is insincere. So in this equation, you have 2 parties that really need to think long and hard about who and what they are. Because I personally believe that we're all kings and queens in our own right, and we should act accordingly. So if you are a queen and you are a king, you know that they do not tolerate disrespect. They will remove you from their court. So you need to make sure that the people who are around you, they treat you like a king or a queen. And that does not mean tell you what you want to hear or bow down at your feet. It means that you're cherished and you're worshiped and you are in an environment in which you can make self-honoring, self-loving decisions. So if someone is apologizing to you for the same thing over and over again, please evaluate whether that person should be in your life or not. Please evaluate why you are continuously allowing that person to mistreat you over and over again. And evaluate, why are you so willing to accept an apology which you know is insincere and which you know the person's going to do it over and over again. I do not give an apology unless I mean it. I do not accept apologies at all because I believe apologies are cheap. I believe people should walk the walk, not talk the talk. Apologies are talking. I don't listen to talking. I listen to action. Actions tell me more about who you are than your words. A lot of you meet people. They say the perfect thing. They say it at the right time, and they say it in the right way. But you and I both know they are not worth the words coming out of their mouth. What tells you the most about a person is their actions, and their actions will show you their character. Now, if you meet a person in which their actions and their words actually match, and they're doing good things, then that person is probably a gem. If you have a person where their words and their actions do not match and they're inconsistent, that means that person is very shady, they're not right, they're questionable, and you should remove them from your life as soon as possible. If you have another person where their actions and their words actually match and they're doing bad things, well, I think that's apparent that, you know what, you probably should stay away from that person. So if someone does something wrong to me, I tell them, don't give me an apology. If you're truly sorry, show me. That's it. Show me. I don't need an apology. I don't care for an apology. I don't believe in apologies. If you are truly sorry, you have remorse, then your actions will tell me everything I need to hear, and there's nothing else that we need to talk about. So really think long and hard about what I said about apologies. I think we in this nation are raised to be kind and accepting and tolerant of things that we should not be accepting and tolerant about. Remember, you are royalty and you must act accordingly. And I don't care if no one else believes you or me when I say you're royalty. It doesn't matter. What you believe is the only thing that matters. What you accept in your life is the only thing that matters. How you feel when you wake up and go to sleep, that is the only thing that matters. When you're sad and hurt, the person that hurt you, they don't know the depth of what you are suffering. So if they're telling you they're sorry, they can't be sorry because they cannot truly understand what it is that you're feeling. So they just want to move on with their life and move forward. And even after you accept their apology, keep in mind, it doesn't change the fact that they hurt you. It doesn't erase the pain, the hurt, the disappointment that you still feel in your heart. So yes, you feel better, or they tell you that you should feel better when you accept people's apology, but it's not accepting another person's apology. What's important is you apologizing to yourself for allowing yourself to be mistreated, for allowing yourself to believe a person and putting yourself in the same situation again. So the only person's apology that you need to accept is yours. You need to forgive yourself and don't worry about receiving an apology from someone that you cannot control. Forgive yourself, love yourself, make the changes, and determine, is this person worth my time? Because a king and a queen, they do not associate with peasants. And people who do not know how to behave and cherish you, they're peasants. And royalty does not associate with peasants. Now I want to talk about compliments and how I feel about compliments. I think compliments are a wonderful thing. I think if you're saying good things to others, it brings good energy. It is a way to give and it's free. But unfortunately, compliments are used for other motives, for other purposes. 95% of people, they're giving you a compliment for a reason. It's because they want something from you. They want something from you today. They want it from you tomorrow, or they're grooming you to get something from you in the future. So you have to be very careful and cautious when someone is around you telling you what you want to hear, telling you what you love to hear, or making you feel really, really good. Because when you receive a compliment, what that does is that relaxes you. Like when someone says something bad to you, that puts you on guard, that makes you tense, that you put your wall up. But when you're receiving a compliment, you feel good. You feel celebrated. You feel like the world is on your side and everyone wants to feel loved and supported. So most people, when they're giving you a compliment, that compliment comes with strings attached. And those strings, 9 times out of 10, is attached to something that you don't want. Either you don't want to give, or you don't want to receive, or you don't have, but the person is using you to get to something. And that is basically being manipulated. You're being used and abused. So think very, very carefully about who is handing you out compliments very easily, telling you all these wonderful things. And you have to think about, who is this person and what role do they have in my life? Is the compliment coming from my mom and dad? Then you know what? You can be safe to say, you know what? That's a genuine compliment. Is the compliment coming from my best friend? Then you may say, you know what? That compliment is safe. But if someone is giving you compliments and they're not near and dear in your inner circle, and they haven't built the credibility and trust that anyone that's close to you should have, if they're not close to you, they want something from you. And the question is, how do you figure out, if you choose to figure out, what their motives are? Because the key word is motive, intentions. And some people make it very easily. And some people make it very difficult. Some people make it a very slow, long, drawn out process. And some people, they are so slick. So you really have to look at that person and figure out, what is it that they possibly could want from me? If the person didn't speak to you yesterday on Tuesday, but they're talking to you on Wednesday and they're telling you all these wonderful things, I would really question their behavior. Because people who are with you, they are with you. People who are not with you, they are not with you. But then you have a whole bunch of people in the middle who are neither here nor there. They're not committed to you, but they're not against you. That means they see something in you or with you that they want or they can use. And it's up to you to decide whether you want to share that. And with compliments, it takes away your better judgment because you're feeling so great that you are not thinking clearly. And when you cannot think clearly, that is when the person usually comes in and goes for what they want. And then you're left saying, wow, what happened? I really didn't want to give that, but I gave that because the person was so nice to me. That's what compliments do. It makes you think that this person is so nice that you should be so giving. And no. That's not what you should do. You have to protect what you have and treasure what you have and hold it very close to you, whether it's your time, your energy, your money, your friends, your family, things that are precious to you. You have to protect them and hold them close to you because you always have someone that's lurking and looking. How can I get what she has? How do I get what he has? What do I have to do? What do I have to say to tell this person whatever I need to get them to relax? And either I would get them to give it to me or I will take it from them when they're not looking. Don't turn away a compliment. Don't turn a compliment away. If you're receiving it, take it. Whether it's from a good person, not so good person, a great person, always receive a compliment because most people do not know how to receive a compliment. Just say thank you. Don't make excuses. Don't justify. Just say thank you. That's part one. Part two is trying to ascertain, trying to figure out what it is that this person may or may not want from me. And you know what? They may not want something, or they may want something and change their mind. But you always have to use your mind and exercise good judgment of characters. I compliment myself all the time. I tell myself how wonderful I am, even when I don't feel wonderful. I tell myself how smart I am, even after I've made a mistake and I've done something wrong. I tell myself I'm great. I celebrate myself. Now you may say, you sound crazy, but let me explain to you. The more comfortable you are at receiving compliments, then when someone comes into your life and they're telling you things, it won't faze you. You won't be ready to hand your heart, your soul, your body. You won't be able to be ready to hand the keys to your house over to this person because you celebrate yourself. And when you celebrate yourself, it makes it much more difficult for someone to come into your life and use you, manipulate you, abuse you, and play you for a fool. It makes it very difficult because they don't have your weaknesses to play upon. Now, I'm not saying all people are bad. They're not. But unfortunately, in our world, to get ahead, people use lies, manipulation, omission of the truth to obtain their objectives. And I completely disagree, but you can't change human nature. So all I want you to take away from this is be willing to accept compliments without justifying or diminishing them. 2, compliment yourself on any and everything, your hair, your breath, your feet, your toes. If you make a mistake, celebrate yourself and your existence so that when someone who has ill will or bad intentions for you comes into your life and they're pretending to be something they're not, you won't be an easy target. You will say, okay, thank you for telling me I'm beautiful. Thank you for telling me I'm smart. But in the back of your head, you're saying, okay, this is something I already know. So why is this person telling me I'm beautiful and smart? What is it that they want? And if you sit back and wait, they will show you what they want. They won't tell you. They will show you what you want. And at that time, you can decide, do I want to share this or not? And if you don't want to share it, feel comfortable in saying no. A compliment does not mean that you owe someone something. That's something else that we do not do right as human beings. We think if a person compliments us, they're nice and kind to us, that we owe them something. No, just for the fact that you are a human being on this earth, that is a blessing. You are already blessed. And because the person that's talking to you is also already blessed, you really don't have to give anything to them. You really do not. So if someone's being nice to you, accept it. Take it. But know that you don't have to give anything back to that person for that compliment. You don't owe them anything. You can rejoice in their kind words and their kind gestures. Rejoice, appreciate, relish it. But you do not owe anyone anything for giving you a compliment. You do not owe anyone or anything for helping you. Because if they helped you, that should have been with no strings attached. And if that person helped you with strings attached, then guess what? That is their loss, not yours. Accept help, but you don't owe anyone anything. Accept compliments, but you don't owe anyone anything. We must stop letting people take advantage of us under the guise of being nice and polite. People get harmed by doing things for nice and polite people when the person is actually not nice and polite. They're trying to trick you. So you have to be safe. You cannot trust everything you see. You cannot trust everything you hear. And you have to use better judgment and connecting the dots. So learn to receive compliments. 1. 2, keep in mind that the person may want something from you today, tomorrow, or in the future. But if the person is genuine, their actions will show you that their compliment came with no strings attached. If the person is not authentic and real and sincere, then their actions will show you that their compliments and their kindness came at a price. And that price was set by that other person. It's not a price that you agreed to do. And even if you agreed to do something for someone because they helped you, they were nice to you, you don't have to do it. You always have a choice. Don't let anyone think that they can take your power or your choice away because they've done something nice for you. When I give a compliment, I give it with no strings attached. I don't want anything from you. And if I want something from you, I'm going to go to you directly and I'm going to ask you for your help. If you choose to help me, great. If you don't choose to help me, great. That's fine. You don't help me, I won't help you in the future. But I'm going to come to you straight because I respect you and I cherish you. I'm not going to use any tricks. I'm not going to compliment you, say, oh, your hair looks great. Your outfit looks wonderful. Oh, can I borrow your phone? I forgot my phone. I need to call my mom and dad and I'll give it back to you tomorrow. I won't do that. That is tricks. That's manipulation. You have to look out for that. And the more times people get away with giving compliments and being kind and getting what they want, the more bold they become. Accept compliments. Compliment yourself so that when someone comes into your life, they can't make a fool of you. And even when someone tells you you're beautiful, you say thank you. But in your mind, you say, tell me something I don't know. Tell me something I don't know. Because that is very important. When you know you're smart, you know you're beautiful, you know you're loved, you know you're cherished, it gives you such confidence, it gives you such security, it gives you charisma, it gives you a glow, and it gives you something in this world that makes good things and better things come towards you. And never let anyone or anything take that away from you. Because when people give you give you compliments or, telling you kind things or doing kind things, they expect you to behave in a certain manner. And when you don't behave in that manner, then what they start to do, they start to belittle you. They start to disrespect you. They try to chip away at your self-worth and your self-love. They try to make you question yourself, and don't ever question yourself from a person who is two-faced. Two-faced means they're nice to you today, they're mean to you tomorrow, and as long as you behave in the manner that they want you to, they will compliment you. But if you do something different than what they want you to do, then they're mean to you. That is abuse. That is mean. That is bullying behavior. And that is not what a compliment is designed for. You are the person that matters the most. And it's okay for you to say that. That doesn't mean that you're selfish. You can say that I cherish myself the most and still be a kind-hearted, respectful, loving person. The sun and the moon do not compete. The sun and the stars do not compete. They all exist in their own right. The star cannot tell the sun, you are too powerful. Well, I guess the sun is a star, but work with me here. Please forgive me. The sun and the star do what they do because they are who they are. The moon is who the moon is, and the moon does what it does. The stars twinkle, the sun does what it does. So you have to understand, you're like a star, you're like a moon, you're like a planet. No one can take away your glory and how wonderful you are. Someone tries to tell you that, you know what, you're a sun, but you really should act like a moon. So try to be a moon. The sun cannot be a moon, and the moon cannot be a sun. So you have to understand who you are and how precious that is. But they're both still great in their own right. And that's what we are as people on this earth. We are suns, we are moons, we are earth, we are Mars. We are great in our own right. But what people have a tendency to do, suns are trying to be bloody earth. Earth is trying to be a star. Stop being what you're not and be who you're supposed to be, and be proud and happy that you are that sun. You are that twinkling star, and you are that moon. And you do not owe anyone any explanation, no justifications. You don't have to give anyone anything for them saying, you know what? You are a great moon. You are a wonderful star, and thank you for existing. All you have to say is, I appreciate that. And then in your mind saying, yes, I already know that, but I'm so glad that someone else acknowledged that. And don't give away anything that's precious to you unless you choose to do so. And again, if you give something, try not to give it with strings attached. Do it freely. And that will make you feel a lot better. And when you give things with no strings attached, then when someone doesn't want to do what you want them to do, you're not upset. You're not disappointed. You're not hurt. Because you gave it from your heart, and you can never go wrong when you give something from your heart. So I know I've been talking a lot, and it may sound like it's rambling, but there's nuggets in there. Be you, do you, love you, and be bold to be you. There's no excuses. You don't want to be like everyone else. If you look like everyone else, if you sound like everyone else, you can't tell the difference. That is why when you look out your window at nature, you see there's different types of trees. There's different types of birds. There's different types of flowers, because it's okay to be different. The rose can't tell the rose can't tell the lotus, you know what? You need to stop existing, lotus. Because only roses are supposed to be here. No, we celebrate the beauty of all different types of flowers. So we need to understand that it's okay to celebrate the differences and people. And you don't owe anyone anything. The only person you owe is yourself. You owe yourself love, time, respect, effort. You need to cherish yourself. And if you can't do it, no one else is going to do it. If you don't do it, you can't ask anyone else to do it for you, because you don't know what it looks like. It all starts and begins with you. You cannot control others. You can control yourself, and you can make your life so much better by realizing who you are, what you are. You may not know why you are this way, but you were made that way for a reason. So explore it, rejoice in it, and love yourself.